Hey, what's up, world and entertainment land? This is the Take One Podcast, episode 91. I am your host, August C. Jones. And so I wanted to put this out because it just dawned on me. I usually do what will dominate before every month and stuff, and I have a lot of stuff on my mind, and basically it kind of slipped. So I'm here doing it on this episode. Plus we got a couple other things to talk about. Basically the Billboard things, what's in the top 10 songs and albums on the Billboard charts, as well as a new trailer has dropped for Daredevil season 3 that will premiere on Netflix this month. So with all that said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, as I clear my throat, let's go ahead and jump right into what will dominate, or what I feel will dominate, October. Now, since we already kind of got into October or whatnot, let's go ahead and I'm basically just going to list off the movies that are coming out, the major films that are coming out this month, and then give you the top 5 which will be the most dominating movies that will come out this month. So, basically starting off the list is Venom, you know, whatever, the Eminem song. A Star is Born, Bad Times at the El Royale, Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween, First Man, Halloween, the 2018 one, Can You Ever Forgive Me, mid-90s, Hunter Killer, Indivisible, and Johnny English Strikes Again. Now, it's not too many movies coming out. This is kind of like not a season for a lot of big movies. You might have a big movie here and there, but usually September, October, and stuff like that, you really don't get too many major big movies coming out almost every single weekend. November kind of starts it up going into like the December, and Christmas season or whatever, but you get those every now and then. But we're here to talk about what will dominate. Now, looking at this list, since we ain't got really too many movies that are dropping within this month, there are some major big films that I think will dominate. Venom is one of them. Throughout all the controversy and everything that's been going on with Venom lately due to, going upon its release, I do feel like Venom will have a strong, probably not as strong as it would have if it was a better film. I just seen it last night and it was okay. I'm gonna have my full thoughts. I'm planning on doing a review this weekend, so be looking out for that, as well as a spoiler review. But basically, I feel like it will have some strong numbers going into the weekend. How strong, I don't know. I can only guess, but I feel like it will have some strong numbers to it. It will hit within the top 5 of the highest grosses this month. I feel like if it didn't, it would be a surprise. But I feel like it's going to be at number 1. Just because of the relationship with Marvel. I mean, not necessarily the movie. I'm not giving out any spoilers right now or anything, but I'm just talking about because it's an association with Marvel. And since this year, we've already had Black Panther, Infinity War, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, which are all great films. I feel like a lot of people are going off that high. And, also we had The Incredibles 2, and I believe it was another one. Don't come to mind, but basically, we had some great superhero films that have dropped this year. So, it got people a little bit excited to see Venom. And so, I feel like that's going to end up being on the list. But, after thinking about it, I did have it at number 1. Number 1, I think Halloween will dominate. From what I've heard so far, Halloween is a good film. It really is. I have to do more digging when it comes to like just looking at like other reviews, but so far what I've gotten from it is that it is a good film, and I feel like it's going to suffer, and I don't want to make it seem like that's like a bad thing. It's going to suffer from the same thing it has suffered from, which is a disease that will bring it a lot of money. It will suffer from that, which is not going to be too much suffering but you know, it's going to catch the bug that it did, because when it came out, I don't think people more than likely realized that it was going to, you know, do some numbers. I don't think we realized how big of a number it was going to pull out, you know, when it came to the box office. And I think Halloween has that same thing, because Halloween, even though it is, what it's doing is erasing Halloween 2 all the way to Resurrection, and it's just continuing from the very first Halloween movie. It's like, this is a movie that really haven't fell out of favor. It's not a movie that kind of fell off the radars of people, or just you know, the type of movie, because Michael Myers is like Dracula, just like the monster universe with Dracula, the Wolfman, and all them. These kind of slasher killers are all within their same thing, and we have the top fives of just known killers, like household names: Michael Myers, Jason, and you know, Freddy Krueger. All these names, and Michael Myers is basically either like number 1 or number 2 within that list. To me, it's Jason is number 1, but I could see why people would put Michael Myers as number 1 and probably Jason number 2 or whatnot. But Halloween is relevant. It's been relevant. It hasn't been irrelevant, because it is a classic, and it's a movie that a lot of people do watch every Halloween. So I personally think that it's going to have crazy numbers. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's going to have crazy numbers. It's going to have it numbers, and I think that that's going to be at number 1, which pushes Venom right below it. I don't know, because of just all the craziness that's revolving around Venom right now, I don't think that a lot of people are really rushing out to go see it. I've talked to certain people who basically said that, you know, they might end up waiting until like $5 Tuesday, or, you know, see it in the matinee, or just wait, you know, because of all the stuff that's coming out about it. So I think that's going to hurt it a lot when it comes to being like a high grosser in October, but I don't think it's going to do too much. It's still going to be in the top 5. So number 2 would be Venom. Number 3, Goosebumps 2. It's a PG-13 film. It's out in October, and it's close to Halloween. And it's a movie that, you know, is banking on just that, you know, people want to get into the mood of Halloween. People want to see Halloween scary films, Halloween type theme films toward Halloween. You know, not just movies that you can just pop on and watch at home, stream, or, you know, they have on TV, but stuff that's in theaters, you know. And this is one of those films I can see teenagers and little kids want to see this. My son wants to see this movie. I want to see the movie. At first I didn't even think it had Jack Black up in it, but hell, it has Jack Black up in it, and I really dug him up in the first Goosebumps movie, which I regret. I should have seen that in theaters, but I ended up really liking that one, and hopefully this one I have the same feelings toward this one as well. So I feel like it's going to make some numbers, because it's going to be a lot of teens, a lot of kids wanting to go see this movie, and probably a lot of adults that grew up with the Goosebumps books and TV shows. So I feel like it's going to have some, you know, type of relevance, and it's going to make some type of impact this month. I ain't going to say it's going to be in the top 2, but it may be. I don't know. It may end up doing more numbers than, you know, Venom. I don't know. But I have it as my number 3. Number 4 for me is going to be Bad Times at the El Royale. This is a movie that, you know, it hasn't really been having too much of advertisements or promotion as of right now, but it seemed like a movie that's going to be on a lot of people's radars, whether it be movie critics or just people who like films. It looks like a movie that has a lot going for it. It's a movie that has sparked my interest in actually wanting to go see. And I'm definitely going to check it out. It has been on my most anticipated, you know, movies to see for, you know, this month. And hell, I definitely really want to check it out. So I hope that it's really good. So I got that as my number 4. And number 5, to round it off, I put First Man, because it seemed like a movie with Ryan Gosling. Is a great actor. He's a great actor. I really enjoyed him last year in Blade Runner 2040. And if you haven't seen that film, And I know a lot of people probably don't want to see that film because, like, oh, I haven't seen the original. Here's the newsflash. I haven't seen the original Blade Runner. I have plans to see it. I might end up seeing it sometime soon. I don't know. But I'm going to eventually watch it at some point in time. But I watched that last year, and that was one of my favorite films of last year. That movie was so good. So good. And Ryan Gosling killed it. So if you haven't seen it, and you one of those people that I ain't seen the first one, so I'm not about to watch it. Like, no, you can watch this one and then watch the other one later. You're still gonna get everything. It explains it all. But in any case, we're talking about First Man. But Ryan Gosling is a great actor, and I feel like he might end up doing good. This isn't one of those movies that I'm really like, oh, I'm definitely gonna go see this. But I am kind of curious and interested in seeing it, so I may end up checking it out. Either way, might end up just going to really just check it out. And I might end up, who knows, it may end up being on my top 10, favorites of this year. I don't know. But it really does look like it has something going for it that, is worth checking out. So hopefully it is. So going over the list of the top 5 that I think will dominate this month is going to be number 1, the new Halloween. Number 2 is Venom. Number 3, Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween. Number 4 is Bad Times at the El Royale. And number 5 is First Man. So those are my top 5 highest grosses of October. And so let's go ahead and jump into trailer reviews. Trailer reviews and all that stuff. So a trailer dropped yesterday. And what trailer was it? The new Daredevil Season 3 trailer. And I have to say, this actually looks pretty good. Looks pretty damn good. I don't know, like, as I'm watching, I'm thinking, like, Daredevil is one of those characters. You have the characters that start off the universe. And just everything builds off from that. So I kind of put it in the same boat as Arrow or Iron Man and stuff like that, because those are like the main people that start off the universe. So the whole universe kind of, like, in a sense, starts with them and kind of has them as the main character when you put, like, all of it together. So I don't know, I look at, like, the Defenders, Daredevil at the top. When you look at the CW crossovers, Arrow is at the top. Of course, the MCU Avengers, Iron Man is at the top. So it's like, that's how I really look at everything. And so, just spoilers for Defenders. So, Daredevil, quote unquote, died, or, made it look to die up in the Defenders at the end of it. And, so it was like, okay, what's going to happen? Like, how is this going to play out? So, of course, we all know that he didn't die. We kind of know that. Season 3, we already know it's coming. So, why are you going to kill off, Daredevil? A lot of people love the first and second season. So, why would you, do that? So, we already knew that it was coming out. Daredevil, this actually looked pretty cool. We got, Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, getting out of jail and going after Daredevil. He knows that Matt Murdock is Daredevil, and he is coming after him, threatening to put his identity out there for people to know. And he's basically trying to turn New York City or Hell's Kitchen against Daredevil in pursuit of what he feels is right, which is kind of like continuing from his story arc and, just his ideas from the first Daredevil season and whatnot. And it looks like it's going to get real deep. It really feels like it's going to get real deep up in this one. It doesn't look like it's going to have too many other, like, cameos or anything that we can see from this trailer, or any new characters being introduced as far as superhero type characters or whatever from the Marvel Comics. But it just looked like they kind of backing away from that and kind of sticking to, just Daredevil and him and, Kingpin, and just their struggle and their conflict. So it looks pretty cool. It looks like it's going to have the same, type of good fighting up in there, and it's going to have the same, seriousness with the story arcs and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it. It comes out October 19th, so we're not that far away from it. So more than likely, we're going to get another trailer before then that's going to give us a little bit more to this season or whatnot. But it looks badass. And I really am going to go check this out when it comes. Well, I'm going to watch it when it comes out. I still need to catch up on Luke Cage, Jessica Jones Season 2, and Iron Fist Season 2. So I got a lot to catch up on. I know I'm definitely not going to watch all those before Daredevil. Wish I did have that time. But I don't know. It looks pretty damn good. If you haven't seen the trailer, go ahead and check it out. So let's go ahead and move to the last thing on the agenda today, which is the Billboard segment, which is kind of similar to the box office segment or whatever. So I'm going to be talking about the top 10, songs on the Billboard charts, as well as the top 10 albums. And then I'm going to be letting y'all know some of the more recent albums that just came out, some of the more recent big albums that just came out. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we're going to start off with the top 10 songs that are on the top, on the Billboard. At number 1 is Maroon 5 with Girls Like You featuring Cardi B. Number 2 is Juice WRLD with Lucid Dreams. Number 3 is Post Malone with Better Now. Number 4, Drake, In My Feelings. Number 5, Eminem, Kill Shot. Number 6, Travis Scott, Sicko Mode. Number 7, Cardi B, I Like It. Number 8, 6ix9ine or Tekashi 6ix9ine, Fifi featuring Nicki Minaj. For some reason, I was about to say Lil' Kim. Wow. Number 9, Kanye West, I Love It, featuring Lil Pump. And number 10, 5 Seconds of Summer, Youngblood. Now to jump into the top 10 albums, which is number 1, Brockhampton with Iridescence. Number 2, Josh Groban with Bridges. Number 3, Eminem, Kamikaze. Number 4, Drake, Scorpion. Number 5, Travis Scott, Astroworld. Number 6, Post Malone, Beer Bongs and Bentleys. Number 7, Carrie Underwood, Cry Pretty. Number 8, Juice WRLD, Goodbye and Good Riddance. Number 9, Lauren Daigle, Look Up Good. And number 10, Ariana Grande, Sweetener. And so with that out the way, let's go ahead and jump into the more recent albums that just dropped as of September 28th. That was Lil Wayne with the Carter 5, Logic, Young Sinatra 4, and then we have Kanye West with Yandy. And then as of today, October 5th, we have T.I. dropping Dime Trap. And so those are some of the new albums that dropped recently or whatnot. As I start to do more of these, I'm going to start to get more intricate with these when I'm like talking about them. Maybe try and do a little bit more of, letting people know what new songs just dropped and stuff like that. And I'm thinking about doing a podcast, maybe just specifically for music. And then that way I could talk about more about music and new stuff in like the music industry that has dropped more recently, and just give my thoughts on everything, just how I do with the Take One podcast and stuff. So that's just kind of stuff that I'm kind of working on right at this moment. But for now, you're going to see all this stuff on the Take One podcast. And so that has been this episode, a very short one at that. And I believe this may be my shortest episode of the Take One podcast that I've ever done. That's crazy. But in any case, thank you guys for listening. And I don't know if I'm going to drop another episode by the end of this week. More than likely not, but if I don't, I will catch you guys next week on the next one, episode 92. And again, thank you guys for listening. Peace out. Hey, before you guys leave, make sure you hit that like button as well as that subscribe button. And you see that little bell? Make sure you hit that to turn on your notifications. That way you'll be notified for anything that appears on my channel. Hope to see you guys next time. Peace out.